Thank you for tuning in to Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. The following content may involve explicit language and materials, so listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, today, I'm sorry. My ADHD meds are wearing off. I'm a little tipsy, and I am super pumped. This is my 1 year episode. This is 1 year. Yeah, 1 year.
Congratulations.
I have my Santa hat on because it is Christmas Day when this comes out. Not right now, but when it comes out, it'll be Christmas Day. And
it's fucking awesome.
This fella here, you know him. I know that you know him because I have posted photos of him on my feed. Do you go by Joe or Joseph? I guess it doesn't matter because I just said both. But
I go by Joe. It's fine.
Okay, now let's see if I can get this in the right order. From Tales, Trails, and Taverns.
Nailed it.
That is the first time I've ever gotten it right. Maybe I should drink more often. I usually just call him Triple T because I can't ever get the damn name right.
That works too.
I'm officially now a single parent. So, my God, I'm having a hell of a time here. But seriously, I still absolutely adore this guy. Things just didn't work out. Things were just happening, and it was just too much. But it was amicable. We still talk. He's a cool dude, so it is what it is. It looks like that's the area I'm probably going to be going into a little bit, aside from my other 50 other jobs. And for anybody watching this video, up here in the corner here are all of the bones that I have cleaned this week. By the way, if you're ever wanting to dispose of a body, allow yourself almost a week, multiple very large pots, some nose plugs, a face mask, and a very large industrial preferred sink.
Yeah.
It is not as easy as they make it look on the movies. For the record, I was cleaning deer bones and not people. Oh my God, I just realized that sounded like I was killing people.
Getting rid of a body and getting rid of a body. Doesn't matter if it's deer or people, right? They're all about the same.
Exactly. So
And the clean things off, they look the same. Not that I know.
No, definitely. Joe has no idea what we're talking about here.
I've done deer. I
took a health class and I saw skeletons. So anyway, Joe here, who is absolutely awesome. We went to eat at a clubhouse. Made me feel fancy. And I remember you guys were watching a hockey game that you wanted to specifically put on, right?
Yep.
Was that
it was a Bruins game, I think.
Yeah.
Rob likes hockey, so.
And there was a live brass band who was phenomenal. And so while you guys were watching your hockey game, I was out dancing with a bunch of elderly, but they were probably like pushing 90 years old. And I was out there boogieing with them, having a good time while they were watching the game. It was a blast. Yeah. But anyway, so Joe, we're going to take a second here and I'm going to let you hit the floor so that you can tell everybody what it is that you do, why you do it, anything that you want. It's a little free advertising that people don't think about, so they don't know to skip ahead.
Okay, so I'm Joe. I host the Tales, Trails, and Taverns podcast where we go to haunted, creepy, and abandoned places. We like to we like to hike in haunted woods and haunted forests and like to explore abandoned schools and asylums and sanitariums. And our podcast is telling all about the history about it, all about the legends, the ghost stories, and what it's like to be there. And we've been doing that for, I think it's a little more than a year now. About a year and a half we've been doing it. We had our year episode in September. And then also, while I'm here, since it's free advertising, we just put out a book, Haunted New England History, Legends, and Lores by the Tales, Trails, and Taverns podcast. You can find it on Amazon. The link is in the bio on the Instagram, on Facebook, wherever Tales, Trails, and Taverns is, which is pretty much all the big social media places, all the platforms.
I need to ask you a question before we even get into anything else. Since you go to all these places, how much crap have you brought home with you by mistake?
I'm going to say at least a couple. I think I brought something back from Perchta, and then I felt it when I got back, and I was like, no, you can't be here. Like I woke up in the middle of the night and my teeth hurt and I could feel like something was with my mouth and I was like feeling its pain. And I just woke up going, no, you can't. This house is my sanctuary. You have to leave.
Okay,
then,
so I've got questions about that, right?
I got one more.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Rob, we went to S.K. Pierce Haunted Victorian Mansion in Gardner, Mass, right?
Yeah.
And while we were there, Rob was taunting spirits in the mirrors. He was asking them to
What?
hold themselves. And I was like, we recorded while we were there, and you could hear me telling him, like, dude, don't do that. Don't do that. And then the next day we went hiking, and he was telling me, oh, dude, I couldn't sleep last night. He goes, felt like someone was standing at the end of my bed all night.
No shit, dumbass.
Told you not to taunt them. I'm twinkling on the ask them to show themselves.
Oh my God, that is horrible.
Yep.
Okay, so just a curiosity, because I am horrible with names. Rob is the guy that was with us, right?
Yeah, Rob is my
Okay,
co-host.
okay. Sorry, Rob. I should really remember your name, but I never forget a face. I will always remember your face. Anyway, I sometimes wonder, so if you go to a place that's far away from where you're at,
Yeah.
or normally at, and something piggybacks on you, is there like a radius where then they can no longer tether back to where they came from and they're just stuck with them?
Man, I wish I knew. I just try to keep my house as clean as possible. And I just, if something's there, just first thing I do, as soon as I feel something, just get out. It's my house. Get out. You're not welcome.
We have a bunch in my house. Most of them are welcome. Speaking of, actually, real fast, I'm doing this so nobody panic. I'm going to turn my lights down because I know that they generally don't like it. And I forgot to turn my app on. So hold on. Oh, see, that reminded me. I saw that one out of the corner of my eye.
There you go.
I got to remember my password. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. But just so you know, Joe, here, sensor, K2. Whoop,
I see it. Oh, yeah.
the phone is telling me to unlock it. It's probably been trying to talk to me this whole time, but it was locked. I am so sorry. It literally goes, unlock. Sorry, it's unlocked now. You're good. But sometimes, too, they'll ask me, they're like, are you recording? And I'm like,
Yes.
it says valid. So they're usually pretty talkative. And so I usually try to keep it on and I just keep an eye on it. So that's what's going on there. But yeah, I sometimes wonder because I've had some where I wanted to talk to a specific person and I knew that there are some here typically that are with me all the time. So I would be like, hey, so-and-so, I need you to go look for a person and bring them to me. Why? Not right now, honey. But I would be like, hey, go get this person and bring them here. I want to talk to them. And then I would literally wait. And I had somebody with me at the time. It was my really good friend. And her father passed away a while back. And I was like, hey, person is Philip, who loves Kevin. I don't know what it is with Philip, but he just adores Kevin.
Huh.
And I was like, hey, can you go get this guy and bring him here? What's my name?
Inappropriate.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, go get him and bring him here. Then all of a sudden, like maybe not even 5 minutes later, all these words started popping up that I didn't understand. I was like, this sounds like gibberish to me. And she's just eyes huge, mouth open. She's like, those are things that my dad said to me. So whatever, when I asked him to go get someone and bring them to me, they did. It's like, oh, okay. And so this is really crazy. So Cryptid Con was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, how was that?
It was fabulous. I don't think I'm going to go back as a vendor unless I at least have help. So I was by myself. I had to load everything by myself. I was working the booth by myself. Thank God for Rachel from like Mother Like Murder because she at least brought me food one day.
Oh, that's awesome. What were you talking about before that?
Yeah, was it? I don't remember. Oh my gosh.
You're talking about spirits and bringing them back. How far they can go.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
This thing keeps saying holy. This is like the 4th day in a row. Anyway, so I can't remember his name. Again, horrible with names, but he was one of the guys, not the main guy I'm used to talking to, but the little skinny guy. He was super nice. From Cryptids the Corn was there. And I'm at my booth, right? And I am talking to him about something that happened to me at work where I was sitting at a table by myself in the showroom. My boss was in his office, which is like right there. And for anybody who doesn't know already, I sell used cars. And if you've not been to a used car lot, the whole thing is windows. It's like you're basically working in a fishbowl.
Yeah.
So that you can see the customers, right? Now, one day I was working and we have a very old door. It's from like the 50s or so. and it has like the brass doorknob and it's hard to open. So it's shake. Yeah, I know it's a spirit. Thank you. And it was like jiggle, and I heard it jiggle, and then I heard a click. So I'm expecting a customer, right? So I look up to greet my customer, and there's nobody there. Like nobody. And the door just starts to open on its own towards the outside.
Yeah.
And my boss didn't hear me say anything. So he said, he's like, "Why are you going to say anything?" I'm like, "To who? There's nobody here." I'm telling this guy this story. Get you not even 30 seconds after I get done telling him the story, my coworker who was covering for me so that I could be at CryptidCon sends me a freaking video, and it's the door. He's like, "I'm not even joking. This thing just opened on its own." So as I was talking about what happened, it was happening live. And then he sent me the video of it. And he's got a video. He's like, "There's nobody here but me, and this door just opened. What the hell?" And this guy, his eyes were huge. His mouth was like, "Why?" He's like, "Did you do that?" I'm like, "I don't know. Maybe I conjured a ghost."
Right. Talking about it brings them out.
But I feel like sometimes they can go, but I don't know. Maybe it depends on, I know there's different types of spirits and residual hauntings, and then you have the other ones, and then you have people that can actually interact with you versus the ones that are just on repeat. All of that.
Well, what about the ones who haunt more than one place? What is it? Vlad the Impaler haunts like 3 or 4 different places. His castle, someone else's castle, all that shit.
I feel that sometimes people are simply misidentifying people.
That's a possible theory too.
Why? Certain times they're like, "Oh, it's so-and-so's ghost." And I'm like, but why? There's nothing is tying this person. Like, you have like a famous person stays in this hotel, and the hotel's like, "Oh yeah, this person like haunts everything." I'm like, they literally stayed the night here and then left. Nothing happened to them while they were here.
They also haunt their home, and they haunt their summer cottage. And
yes. And newsflash, everybody, I have ghosts in and out of here like it's freaking Grand Central Station, and they didn't live here. Well, okay, I think one of them did, but one did. But the other ones, says I'm following. You were to say some of them follow me is actually what
some of them found you on Instagram and then just follow you.
I have some that literally so people are like, "Oh my God, you live in a haunted house," and I'm like, "It's not the house that's haunted.
It's just a highway for."
It's me.
I
have had the exact same experiences with the exact same spirits in multiple places. Like they literally follow me, but that's because they're tied to me. It's like my kids; they're tied to me.
Right.
So they're always with me and stuff like that. But then like when I go places, there's new ones and all of that. But it is what it is. I don't know. I haven't decided. Younger. Yes, they're younger. Thanks, guys.
Well, yeah, I'm no spring chicken. You gotta point that out. That's fine.
But yeah, so I'm super excited because I know that I've wanted you on the pod since Runaway.
That was for me probably.
You can't. They really don't want you here, do they?
I'm telling you, man. I don't think spirits like me. I think they stay away from me for the most part.
Oh, who was it? I was on a live, so I wasn't on one. I was watching Deja Vu Explorations, so they're going to be on my episode after Christmas. And I watch his TikToks every now and then. And he's bought some of my merch in Canada and stuff. So it's really cool. He's a really cool dude. And I had my spirit box on because I just kept feeling like something was wanting to talk, and I didn't know. It was just really getting under my skin. I couldn't sleep. So I was like, fine, screw it. I'll watch it live. And I turn the box on, and it just starts hating on him. It's like annoying. Shut up. Stop talking. And like, you know what? Fine. We won't do it. Fine. We will get off the live and we'll lay down if that's what you guys want. And they do. Like, they'll tell me they're not ready for bed. Because now it's really hard because I used to have a lamp in the corner of my room in my Jesus Christ, the living room. And if the light flickered when it was around bedtime or whenever, if it flickered, I knew it was okay to go to bed. It was time to go to bed. They were ready. It was fine. So I could turn the TV off and just go lay down. It was no problem. if I would turn the TV off before the light flickered, the TV would turn itself back on and start playing a show.
Nice.
And I'd be like, okay, one more, guys, and then we're going to bed. And then we'd watch one more. Torment, yes. And Carmen. So we would watch one more episode, and then I would turn it off, and then it would stay off. But now, hey, this is ugly. Forward.
Thank you. I'm okay with that.
Ugly and forward.
Listen, I have no problem turning this to a ghost roast if it.
We might get to our topic eventually. Oh, look how red my face is. And I'm like still in the dark here. My lights aren't even on. But they haven't set off the sensors at all. Earlier, they hit the K2 meter, but that was it. But anyway.
Yeah, a little one, Blake, a second. A little bit.
But now that lamp it belonged to my ex-husband. So I don't have that lamp anymore. And I usually have the lights off in the house. So I just have to turn the TV off and wait to see if they turn it back on for a few seconds. Because when I say they turn it back on, it's literally off and I have 5 seconds. If it's not on in 5 seconds, they're not going to turn it on. But it's literally, they will wait and then it will immediately be like, nope, I'm not done.
Yeah.
They don't mess around.
Nice.
But anyway, so they were like roasting his ass. And I was just like, I am so sorry. They're being dicks.
Okay. Man, they probably deserved it.
Crazy is so we recorded an episode, right? And I've got my sensors on and everything like I normally do. And I shit you not, I was talking because he said that he usually has spirits with him. And something happened and something said his name. And it said his name on my end. And then the sensor behind me went off.
Huh.
And it was like, correct is what this just said. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Possessed. Are you possessed?
I'm not.
I could do my fun party trick. Hold on.
All right.
I need to find. Hold on. 1 second. I gotta find something to write with. It says I need this. Oh man, I gotta.
Been waiting for this all through the afterlife.
It's a cool party trick. I've done it before, so I think that's. All right, hold on. Okay. We're going to do this shit in eyeliner, guys. Because we're resourceful. Hold on, I got to get past the tits. We can't say. All right, eyeliner check. I need something to write on this. I love how everything in my space is black. And everything I wrote with is black. I'm like, fuck. Actually, here, hold on. Oh my gosh, we are rigging this shit big time. Okay. Gotta get my little eyeliner. We'll do yours first. All right, hold on. Oh, I gotta make it a little bigger. That's what she said. Convicted. Okay.
Joe Natasha.
I told him. All right, ready? So we'll do yours first.
Good.
Whoosh.
What?
Now we're going to do mine. That literally just said purgatory. Chilling. This is purgatory and chilling.
Oh, Satan.
His name backwards is Satan. Yes.
Satan.
Satan.
That's just reminds me of that old South Park episode. Satan.
This party, it was like all hail Santa, but it looked like Satan. But some terrible typo. All hail Santa.
Our last episode was on Krampus. That was an interesting.
Krampus is phenomenal.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm visiting you is what we just got. Hello. Can we say who's visiting us? Guilty. I don't want guilty. I want to know what your name is. It's like, guilty, I'm here. What's your name? Why are they always so reluctant to give out names?
I don't know.
Oh, you went crazy. I started I'm friends with a person from work. And since we've been like, chatting and everything, we found out that we have a lot of stuff in common. So we just joke around at work all the time.
Yeah.
And he's super cool dude. It's inside.
Inappropriate.
Sorry, I'm good. I'm gather myself. But anyway, so I kept getting this name on my spirit box sessions. It was the same name every time. And I'm like, I don't know you. I don't understand your name. But then it started doing its name and my friend's name.
Huh.
And it would do both. And I'm like, do you want to talk to them? And then it was sounding like it wanted to talk to him. And I'm like, okay. So I went to my friend and I'm like, this is going to sound really weird. But I think I have somebody talking to me that wants to talk to you. And I don't understand it. Does this name mean anything to you? And this guy just stopped.
Yeah.
Couldn't fucking be. He's like, there's no way. There is no way. He's like, how the hell did you know that name?
Huh.
So he was in the military, and this ship, yes. And when they went over, his friend didn't make it back.
Okay.
And it's the same name.
Ah.
So him and his friend had a thing that they would all say. He would ask a question, and you would always, it was like one of those things, like a callback. You say something, and they always answered. So he wrote on a Post-it note. He's like, I don't know if it's him or not. We don't know. I was like, well, I guess it could be somebody trying to, but I was like, is there anything in particular? So he writes something down on a Post-it note, folds it up, and hands it to me. He says, don't open this until I say so. And I'm like, okay. Older. And so then he said, ask this verbatim. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he's like, word for word, say this. And I'm like, okay. So I said it a couple times, and then we got an answer back on my spirit box. And he just was like, oh my God, it's him. He goes, open the damn Post-it note. And I shit you not, I opened the Post-it note, and it was what he said.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is weird. It was a lot, but he hangs out a lot. And he's super cool. So I plugged his name. He had a nickname. And so I put his nickname into my dictionary so we recognize it. And it actually comes up quite a bit. So he just comes and hangs with me.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so Krampus is pretty fucked up. Sorry. We're a little all over the place. Okay. This is my Podiversary, bitches. We can do what we want.
That's right.
Oh, wait.
No rule. That's right.
For whatever. I don't censor it. I'm waiting for somebody to flag me and me get in trouble. Suffering. They're on point. So a lot of times people are like, oh, do you like the Ghost app? I don't know if I believe it. It listens to what you say, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I have had this thing, which, by the way, this phone that I am using, things in here, no. It's inside. Again. What's inside?
Phrasing.
Huh? Are you done yet?
Phrasing.
Control let down. But this one, they know that I can't hear. So the other boxes that don't give you the words that read, I can't understand what they say because my ears have been messed up since I was pretty much born. And I just have a hard time hearing. So I use this one because it works and ungodly. So they know that's what they need to use because otherwise I don't understand.
Right.
And this phone, she will touch you. Yes, I will.
Phrasing.
But this stays turned off. Not like I just, close it. I turn it rose.
Oh.
Like a name or a flower?
Like
Rose
a name.
is gonna touch me? That would make sense. Who's Rose? Do you know a Rose? I don't know a Rose. You know a Rose?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Maybe she's gonna touch you.
Interesting.
How well do you know Rose?
I I
She's
knew
still alive.
Rose. She passed away 15, 20 years ago. And yeah, it was one of those. It was something that probably could have happened. There was a spark, but then never really went anywhere. And then she died in a car accident, unfortunately, trying to get away from her loser boyfriend or ex-boyfriend or something.
shit.
Yeah, that's fun.
Okay. Okay. For the
Well,
record,
I really like the freaking rat tonight.
the I'm not sure
Hey, Podiversary.
for what I was trying to get, which is funny that happened. Yes,
What a great time this is.
it's her. She literally just was like, yes.
That's awesome. I love
it. But I was going to tell people is this thing stays turned off. So it doesn't hear anything that I'm saying during the day because it's off. The power's off.
Yeah.
And for the record, I had no idea who Rose was.
You're right.
Thank you, Rose, for giving us a good example. Welcome to the show. On the shelf. On the shelf. My shelf or your shelf?
Probably not my shelf.
Oh, it's your little skeleton I made you.
Oh, yeah, he's with there. Little Steve. Baby Steve. Baby Steve.
That came out really weird. That was a weird voice. Very manly. Did you hear that? I sounded like a dude. I got a little possessed there. Okay.
There you go.
That just really rolled me. Now that she's here, do you want to say anything? I guess that she's here. Hi, Rose. Do you have anything you want to say?
No?
Or did you just want to help us prove a point?
Just want to throw that out there.
You want it. Question mark.
That's funny.
Do I want what? Oh, that probably was directed at you, not me.
A little late for that.
Heard the stories.
Let's move on.
Backseat. Love you. Gotta go. Wow. Okay. Sorry. That just really freaking blew my mind for a second. Okay. Very much.
Yeah, I'm going to, when you put this out, I'm going to forward this. I got a couple friends I want to forward this to so they can listen to your this episode.
Okay. Wow. You. She really does. She is on it. Okay. Sorry, darling. We gotta keep going. All right. All right. So, finally, dear God, how long have we been
Hot in here.
You can make too. Like, I literally, it's just everything in here feels different. Which makes sense if there's somebody here that I don't recognize.
Yeah.
But it's okay. At least it's not bad. She seems nice.
That's good.
But it's just the energies really mess with my head. Okay. Oh, just
I do that. Yep.
collar. Damn. What if she was a freak like me? I got to. We will, after recording, we will discuss that if we need to. But anyway, so many people know the generational tales of an old man with rosy cheeks traveling the world via magic flying reindeer, right?
Yep.
One flip up with the autocorrect, apparently, and you get Satan versus Santa. Which, if your phone is autocorrecting Satan instead of Santa, you want to reevaluate your situation. Or you need to stop researching unless you're in an in-private browser. I've made this mistake. The record. The fact that nobody questioned that I was boiling a pot of bones.
I didn't question it.
Nobody questioned me. I literally had a friend. They were like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm just sitting at Walmart. I'm waiting for them to bring my order out. They're like, what'd you get? I was like, I got a giant pot of peroxide and some scrub brushes. They're like, why? I was like, because I got to boil some bones. And they were like, oh, okay, cool. Do you need help?
Yeah, awesome.
It's like, you're my people. But anyway, as of late, the appreciation for the darker and less appealing holiday character with problematic family. So I was super excited because, have you seen Red One?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, I will try to. Okay,
Spoil it. You're fine. I don't care.
okay. Anything bad? It's just characters in the movie.
Yeah, you're good.
But since it's my 1 year podiversary,
It's your
very
Podiversary.
special. Yeah, very special Christmas Day. We're opening a special gift, and we are going to talk about a devilish entity, the Christmas witch.
The Christmas
Which
witch.
Yeah, I know. 3 for a curveball, right? You'll see why in a second. So there's many names. So there's Christmas witch. There is Ice Queen, Winter Goddess, Perchta, Frau Prosta, Frau Hole, and most commonly Frau Prosta, which apparently I think that was pretty close. That sounded pretty good, right?
That sounds pretty good, yeah.
I don't. Maybe it's because that's where I come from, and then it's a little easier. I don't know if I'm butchering it. Sorry, guys. I am doing my best. All right, I'm trying. Now the tales originated in the Alpine regions of Austria and Germany, more particularly the Bavaria area during the Middle Ages.
Yep.
Saw that. Hello. But it is the Middle Ages, so there's usually not a whole lot of good stuff typically from the Middle Ages. But the first written account went all the way back to 1200 AD. Way back. And that's just the first written account. We don't know how long they've been doing the verbal accounts. Because I know for a long time, people didn't write stuff down. They were just around the campfire and all that stuff. Now, she began as a Germanic goddess named Perchta, or they called her Bertha. How does it work? Okay, if you're talking about these, just push them and they light up on the top. Okay. But her role was that she was responsible for protecting the women and children of any age. And she was protecting the environment and guiding souls into the afterlife. So she was gentle and caring, like very much so a motherly or grandmotherly type figure, right? Like, here, let me help you, guide you through here. Let me protect you. And they say that she had the ability to shapeshift. Guilty.
I mean, why wouldn't they?
Guilty. But I can see that being, if you're going to protect somebody, maybe you're in a situation way back in the day before Law and Order, and say some kind of, I know you can see me, honey. We're on camera. And it's like, what if something happened? Like they got mauled by a bear, or they were like hunting and something trampled them, or like I could see that being like, oh, well, she protected me.
Yeah.
By taking his ass out. But who knows? On the other hand, she usually gets drawn as having this beak made of iron. I hate that word. Metal. Wearing rags like from top to bottom. And possibly perusing around with a cane. It gets a little iffy as far as descriptions go, because some people say she's John. Do you know a John?
No.
I know John, but there's 50,000 Johns. You're going to be more specific than that, dude. John Doe at this point. Now, can you hear it? Nope. But, so we had the old hag type, right? But a lot of people in the early depictions of her, she is just this beautiful woman, like younger, not like super young, like you would think of maybe, I don't know, I would say maybe like 20s, 30s, like late 20s, early 30s, like a mom age, right? Not too old, not too young. But they said that she had like this long, beautiful flowing hair, and it was probably blonde, similar kind of to Frigga. Do you know who Frigga is? For those of you who didn't listen to my Friday the 13th episode, go listen to it. Frigga is who Friday is named after. She's a goddess.
That makes sense.
A very long, like Nordic goddess.
Yeah.
That's where she's from. Now, a lot of people say that she's considered they call it a triple goddess, and she can appear either in maiden, mother, or old hag form. Now, But this is badass, right? So she could be this nice, beautiful person. However, she may or may not be carrying a dagger under her skirt, and she will mess you up. Like dagger in hand.
Don't they always?
Skirt. Yeah.
Don't they always carry some sort of weapon?
Skirt. Yeah, you gotta pull it out there. Like,
Yeah.
but some say cloak. Like she's got it under her cloak, like a little Red Riding Hood kind of situation.
Right.
This is my place. Hello. But some people, here's what gives her away, okay? Because you always hear about, you got a woman in white, you got the woman in red, you got all these witches and banshees, and you have all these things. But this lady, they say, has at least 1 foot of a goose.
That's an interesting thing there.
Like one
That's
foot.
a very specific thing to have, though.
Yep. But
what's the symbolism with a goose foot?
Rituals.
Ritual.
But they say she likes to turn into a swan, and maybe she just can't completely undo it. But a lot of times you'll see where, like, you'll encounter this beautiful woman, and she's talking to you and all this stuff. But, like, when she goes to leave, you realize she's got a goose foot, and you're like, oh, crap. That's
Yeah, 1
her.
foot
We
in the
better stay
pond.
away. Yeah, 1 foot in the pot. I don't know. It's not a duck foot. Don't they look the same?
Can take the witch out of the swamp. You can't take the swamp out of the witch.
Swamp witch. Oh my gosh, that's got to be my new title. Natty Swamp Witch. When it's hot, I get swamp ass. Does that count? So at the beginning, she's this beautiful young woman, and she's helpful, and she takes care of all these people, and she's very nurturing.
Yeah.
But then later, karma. They keep going with karma today. It's pretty much mainly hag, entire face with a beak-like nose. But they say she looked caution, then looked at like a creature of darkness. They yell.
Ah.
I can't yell. They're going, I'm yelling. I'm scared. Maybe you're scaring them. You are annoying. Chains, and I have this buckles on my thing. They're talking about me. Fuck you, dude. If you don't like it, get out of here.
Go bye.
Yeah, bye. Bye, Felicia. But they say that she has a reign over 12 days before Christmas, which I thought was interesting because guess who else does? Very much. The Yule Lads that I talked about on my debut episode last year.
Oh, was it the
Yule Lads.
the what?
The Yule Lads.
The Yule Lads, yeah, they're Norwegian or something, right?
They're Icelandic.
Icelandic, okay.
I'm
So-
sure that's spread all over. They're called like intermingling, but don't touch me. They like to touch me. It's really gross. Must be Walter. Take note.
Take note.
I'm not turning it off. Ugh. Anywho, sorry, totally got distracted.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. They say that she will pursue people that are lazy, messy, dirty-looking people, and those that might be on the naughty list. Guilty. Another place. Yeah, guilty. We're all on the naughty list over here. But we're so good at it.
Put coal in my own stocking this year. That's
So I used to be married to a guy who worked at a coal mine, and he literally brought coal back, and we put it in people's presents for fun. That was totally my idea. I was like, bring me back some coal. But they say that if household chores were not completed, she'd lose her shit. And the one that she was most concerned about was, keep in mind, this is back in the day, the act of spinning.
like spinning yarn or like
Yes,
physically
who's the thimble guy?
Rumpelstiltskin?
Rumpelstiltskin, yeah.
Yes,
Or
like
Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, like that.
Spinning, yeah. That's interesting. I
And
feel like a lot of those alpine things or those legends were all about keeping their kids in line because
this one was not all the kids.
it's not all the kids. Okay.
Mm-mm,
I know
no.
Krampus had a lot to do with the kids. And Can't say.
But yeah, Krampus was very much a kid. Grilla, she would put the kids in the sack and take them and put them in soup or whatever. Here's where things get a little crazy, right? So if she marked you as unworthy to walk the earthly plane, you would fall victim to a rather gruesome display of disapproval. So lesser offenders who did not complete their spinning would have Frau. Oh my gosh, why can't I not? Okay, it's just gonna come out like that. I guess that's just how it comes out of my face. She would enter the home, trampling the half-assed done work, and sometimes set it on fire, ablaze. Poof.
Awesome.
This one thing about your half-assed work. Start over.
Think of it. Burn it all down. Yep. A little lighter fluid.
I don't know if you have lighter fluid at the time. Maybe.
Okay. Whatever. With whale oil. Fuck your work.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, if you don't take it seriously, then neither do I. Start over. This isn't good enough. Start over.
Now sweep the ash.
See, if you were an offender that really peeved her, it got a little brutal. So they say she would use that trusty dagger to cut open your stomach, rip your innards out of your body, fill the empty vessel with garbage, and then go on about her business. Nothing ever happened.
Wow.
So if she came in and your house was higher, if you had a dirty house or whatever, she's like, oh, you want to live in garbage? I think you're garbage. And she would take all your innards out, stuff you full of trash, probably laying around the house like you should have cleaned it up, bitch. Red hair.
That sounds like a drill instructor.
That literally says red hair. That's me. Hi. But yeah, so that's one way. Did I mention that it was just because she had a messy house and that's all it needed? Just a messy house. Have y'all had kids?
Oh my God, it's always messy. It's always.
You better make sure that you get them on the P's and Q's come Christmas time. All of the, I can't. If you don't have all of your flax, which is a species of plant, spun by the 12th night, you will meet the same brutal fate, but instead of garbage, you get stuffed with straw, rocks, and shards of glass. She don't fuck around, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah. There is a spot here for kids. So children that like to lie, she will use that dagger to cut your tongue out.
Good.
Right? Don't tell a lie.
Rats.
Natalie. Everybody calls me Natalie. I'm not Natalie. That happens to me all the time. Everybody messes it up. And some of the naughty little spawns will then get thrown in a sack, carried off, never to be seen again. We don't know what happens to them. I think I might have an idea because we're going to find out here soon.
Yeah.
But even if you're clean and your chores are done, you need to make sure that you do one final thing to avoid becoming a Christmas scarecrow. So you got to leave a food offering for the lady before she gets too hangry. So specific meals that are served are dumplings and herring, porridge of oats and herring, eggs and dumplings. So apparently this bitch likes herring.
Yeah.
And dumplings. I can make a mean dumpling though. So
is there a herring dumpling you could just make to roll it all into one?
Maybe she's like me. She's like her food touching.
Oh, maybe. That's a bit for no touching it.
Them all. You get 20 whacks. Unlike her kind of dark counterparts, she actually leaves the good little boys and girls silver in their shoe on the day of Epiphany, which is on January 6th. So if you survive and you've been a good little boy or girl, 25, you get a piece of silver.
Nice.
How many are there? I don't know, honey. But you get silver in your shoe specifically.
Oh.
So hopefully, do they fill the shoe with silver? Because then I better get some big old shoes. What if you got little bitty feet? What if you only have sandals? What if you're poor and you ain't got no shoes? Ah, man, questions.
Feel bad for these poor shoeless little
Orphans, these damn orphans.
You know, what were you
I'm going to hell. That came out wrong.
Did all the chores.
Yeah, exactly. Do your which how does that work? What if the chores are done but you didn't do them? What if it's like a Cinderella situation?
What if your chore was to clean your shoes, but you didn't have any shoes to clean? And then, yeah, you got no shoes to put silver in.
Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs.
God. Lieutenant Dan. Well, my magic shoe.
What about the kids that don't sit their legs? Who's freaks? Oh my God. Okay. But they do say that Fro is treacherous leader of a gang of evil spirits created by the souls of unbaptized little children.
Oh, it's always the unbaptized kids.
I know. All you gotta do is just dunk them in the water. It's not like it means anything when they're born. You already cut part of their dick off. You might as well sprinkle some water on them and call them good. Sorry, that was horrible. Sorry, guys. For all you religious people, you might be in the wrong area.
Bless you.
Spray bottle. Get out the newspaper.
Splash. There you go. You're done.
Oh my gosh. Just if that isn't a bad enough image, they say that the runt of the bunch just brings up the rear, trying really hard to keep up, hauling a pitcher filled with tears of the mothers.
Oh my God. Uh-oh.
And they so she leads this group through the towns and the countryside, and they call it the Wild Hunt.
Huh.
Yeah, and they say that if you can hear wind and like thunder echoing and like in the mountains, anytime between that 12-night range, it's actually Frau and her gang going through to hunt for bad kids.
Nice. Bad kids beware. She's coming after you.
Yeah. Bad boys. Oh my gosh. And I've only had one shot. Where are we? You're at my house, homie. I moved the studio, so they probably don't recognize where they're at. Camera. Yes, this is the camera.
It's a camera.
That's why I can see what you're doing behind me. Screen. Yes, we're screen here. Hold on. Apparently, I had to give IT 101 here. We got a little curious.
Everything is a teachable moment here.
Yeah. So this is equipment. This is the microphone.
Everything is a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
For
microphone.
Carrots.
Camera. Everything from the microphone and the camera go here.
That's right.
Confusion.
Yeah. I'm not really in the room.
Maybe. Yeah. So he's not really here. But if you move everything behind me, that's why I can still see it. Because I can see it through the camera. Okay? Pleased. Okay. I was hurt. Okay. Now, oh goodness. Speak of the devil, Krampus believers sometimes say that Frau was known to fly about causing chaos with her male counterpart. Now, for everybody who has seen Red One, I bet Grilla was pissed. And I would not want that thing mad at me. Just saying.
Was she not in Red One?
So Frau was not.
Okay.
In Red One, Grilla, baby. Santa baby. Grilla and Krampus had a thing at one point.
Nice. Good for them.
Yeah. She did eat her husband, so...
It's nice when you can find love. Especially when
I know, right?
out just kidnapping children for a living.
Yeah, I feel bad because I'm like, bro, she ate her husband. And then you got 13 mouths to feed. Run. Anyway. Are we sure they are all the husband's kids?
Yeah, probably not.
We should ask Mari.
Not the father.
Yeah, you're not the father. It's like one of them looks like Krampus. They're like, wait a minute.
One of them's got horns. One of them's got a big jelly belly. Wait a minute. Who's...
Wait a minute. You shouldn't be growing a beard that's white.
Right. Why do you have a white beard, kid?
Yeah. But of course, the church took this originally good-natured and beautiful spirit and turned her into a modern monster. Laughing. They said they're laughing. So the Christians stormed in, per the norm.
Yep.
Took over around the 6th century. And since much of the population... Now, these are some badass bitches, y'all. This is where I come from, and you wonder why I'm stubborn. They refused to give up their religion, their paganism, for Christianity.
Yeah, why would you?
They tried to turn to fear tactics. So they changed the name. Weak ass bitches. So they changed the name to Perchta because the origin of the word means scary monster.
Huh.
So then they started portraying her, who used to be the beautiful, wise, caring goddess, into this wretched, mean, old hag. Like the "Want an apple, my dear?" witch. Cigar. I actually have somebody that I always smells like smoke. Sexy. Thank you. Oh, wait. Does that mean some creep? Again?
I don't know what's happening.
I think I'm like, does that mean that you're like in the corner smoking a cigar watching me because you think I'm sexy? That's gross. I got a creeper. Jeepers, it's a creeper. No, thank you. But anyway, so after the years, many people still would not convert to Christianity. And they just wouldn't. Killed.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Essentially. So the church used the document that they called the Thesaurus Pauperum to label the stubborn followers as the cult of Perchta and outlawed them, certainly, in 1468. Now, this gets funny. This document makes no sense to me. The document also made it illegal to leave food out on the nights that Frau was supposed to come visit and get the offerings.
Because that's something you can regulate really easily.
Yeah. I guess if you have food laying out, they could kick your ass because you just forgot to put your dishes inside. Not exactly. Okay, apparently that's not how it worked. Sorry.
We don't know.
Here's where I find a little interesting about this particular document. A lot of very prominent religious leaders like Pope John the 11th, Saint Albertus Mangus, wrote, those two guys, help write this document. Ironically, it was a work that listed recipes and natural medicinal cures for those who could not afford doctors. Not only that, but amongst the information were the benefits of precious stones, herbal remedies for childbirth, uses for precious metals, and astrological charts. Now, that sounds a little witchy and pagan to me, don't you think?
Yeah.
But because the church put it together, it's holy.
It's fine.
Yeah. Perchta.
Very cool. Awesome.
I'm still dumbfounded right now by our visitor.
Yeah, I like the fact how she was supposed to be. She started off as beautiful and awesome, and then was downgraded to ugly, old, evil.
All right, hold on. How about this? Back. No thanks. They make it seem like the only way you can be evil is if you're old and ugly. They don't realize that You got those pretty ones that can get in there and then they can really do the damage.
Oh, she's far too beautiful to be evil.
Yeah. Oh, there's no
That's
way.
not-
You know how many times I've heard that? He's so nice.
She's so nice. She's so pretty.
He's so pretty.
So pretty.
Hold on. The little mouse.
Oh. Speedy Gonzalez.
Alice. Yeah. That's what you sounded like. Speak Gonzalez. Damn. Damn.
Oh,
But it's just one. They make her into a monster.
Yeah.
They make her ugly. They strip her of her beauty. They completely erase the fact that if you die, she's going to help you get where you need to be.
Right.
Because some people have sudden, unexpected death. You're not now. If you're like struggling with a health concern for like years and you just know it's coming, that's one thing because you know it's coming. You're preparing yourself over this time frame. But when something happens and it happens so suddenly, you've got to think that's got to carry over, right?
And that probably happened a lot back then in the Alpine region of Austria and Germany, right?
That's how it was.
Yeah.
And to have someone there, you might not even know you're dead. And
Nope.
you might just be sitting there, all of a sudden you're like looking around, and why is nobody talking to me? Why can nobody see me? Why can nobody hear me? What's happening? Help me. And you think you're just, oh my God, you think you're getting ghosted. Sorry, he's going crazy.
I have a good one.
But I was trying to find another word and I just couldn't. But you got to think if something happens, what do they see? Do they see everything as we see it to where they won't recognize that anything's different? Do they see something that's what we're like the upside down, right? In Stranger Things, where it's similar but different.
Yeah. Everything's off.
Yeah.
But it's not unrecognizable, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. It's something that it'd be nice to think that there is somebody there. Do you just like freaking teleport? Is it just like oops? Arousing? How horny to maybe it's the dress. I think it's the dress.
Maybe.
Hey, they are rocking today. You should have seen me try to get in this thing. That was a feat. It was like Cirque du Soleil over here. I was like, but anyway, that's what gets me. And why a lot of times the monsters, what they do correlates with why they do it. But with her, she was a spinner. In theory, she was like a goddess of spinning, right? Like that was her gig, was like making, I don't know, shit to sew with. Sick.
Okay.
So why the hell would she slice you open, yank out your insides, stuff you with random shit, but it also doesn't say that she ever sewed you back up. She just stuffed you. She stuffed your carcass and left you there to die. Oh my God, I made this like stuffed chicken. It was actually really delicious, but I had to cut the side of it, or maybe it was a pork chop, not chicken. Well, actually, I did both.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, you cut it and then you just stuff it with stuffing.
Yeah.
But then you close it with toothpicks. But it doesn't say that you close it. Justice. Wow, savage.
Kids deserve to have their insides ripped out and stuffed this way and not sewed back together again.
But that's my thing is, I'm like, but why?
I wonder, like, how bad were the kids back then in Germany?
They weren't even the kids.
Oh, but people in general. It sounded like they were all a bunch of badasses.
But I'm just,
Like, did they reserve this treatment all the time, or were they?
Literally, supposedly, you could just have, if you had a messy house, She would slice you open and make you a Christmas scarecrow full of garbage.
Everybody was either straight edge because they were too scared to do anything other than
Yeah.
everything right.
Being petrified that you're going to get sliced and stuffed. I guess it doesn't matter because I guess you'd still be alive for a while. Yeah, you could be alive with your insides on the outside. I watched this thing about medieval torture a couple days ago. It's called Dark.
Any fun though?
It's really awesome. It's called the Dark Marvels. It's on Hulu. Check it out. It's dope, but it's really fucked up. My baby. I just want to sing that song. It's like in my head now. But they would cut you open. They would pull your insides out. Agreed. Thank you. And they would light them on fire while you're watching it. This really
good to
medieval times.
Was it William Wallace and Braveheart? They did that when they tore his insides out.
Yeah. But they would. That was a real thing that they did. They would cut you open, and then they would pull your insides out. They would light it on fire, and then they would start quartering you before you were dead. It was real messed up, man. How long would it take you to? I assume that when you're cut open and your outsides are your insides are your outsides, with the amount of blood you would lose, you would assume that you'd be dead pretty fast. But they make it seem like you wouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem like you'd lose too much.
I need this. Oh no, we're out of screwdriver.
Yeah, fortunately.
Sorry, y'all. Oh, only for you. I think I have somebody who's got a crush on me in here. Which is interesting because my phone went off and it's the person that refers to me by a certain name, and this thing keeps saying the name.
Oh, yeah.
But
that's awesome.
I know that you guys are on Instagram. You guys are, I think, on Facebook, TikTok. So all of
we're
the
on
social,
Threads, we're on X, we're on.
So all the social medias, go check them out. Anywhere you listen to your podcast, go check them out. Do us a favor, him and myself. Don't forget 5-star reviews, y'all, because it helps.
It does.
The more you rate us, the more people find us. I know it's stupid. I know it's bogus, but that's why little people like us struggle to get known, because everybody who started 5 years before us already have all the likes and all of that. But like, share, subscribe, and until next time, everybody, see ya. Thank you for listening to this episode of Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. If you wouldn't mind, please take a moment and give the show a 5-star review wherever you're listening. I know it might not seem like much, but it greatly helps the show and allows people to find us more easily. Also, head on over to www.patreon.com/Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy and subscribe to any of the tiers. Members of the Big Show tier get bonus materials, personalized shoutouts on the pod, ad-free episodes, access to the private Discord server, quarterly appreciation gifts, and a chance to be on the show, not to mention video versions of the episode. Before you go, don't forget to click the link in the description and grab yourself or someone you know some self-designed merch by me, or make a donation to help keep the show going and fund future events and investigations. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Threads, and TikTok. If you have any questions, topic recommendations, or personal encounters, please send them to cryptidscreepsandconspiracy@gmail.com or submit them through the contact form at www.cryptidscreepsandconspiracy.com. I would love to hear from you and share your experiences on a listener episode. Just make sure that you specify that I have permission to add your encounter to the show and let me know whether or not you would like your real name read or an alias to maintain confidentiality. Thank you guys all again so much for your support. Until next time, my friends. See ya. Thank you for listening to this episode of Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. If you wouldn't mind, please take a moment and give the show a 5-star review wherever you're listening. I know it might not seem like much, but it greatly helps the show and allows people to find us more easily. Also, head on over to www.patreon.com/cryptids, creeps, and conspiracy and subscribe to any of the tiers. Members of the Big Show tier get bonus materials, personalized shoutouts on the pod, ad-free episodes, access to the private Discord server, quarterly appreciation gifts, and a chance to be on the show, not to mention video versions of the episode. Before you go, don't forget to click the link in the description and grab yourself or someone you know some self-designed merch by me, or make a donation to help keep the show going and fund future events and investigations. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Threads, and TikTok. If you have any questions, topic recommendations, or personal encounters, please send them to cryptidscreepsandconspiracy@gmail.com or submit them through the contact form at www.cryptidscreepsandconspiracy.com. I would love to hear from you and share your experiences on a listener episode. Just make sure that you specify that I have permission to add your encounter to the show and let me know whether or not you would like your real name read or an alias to maintain confidentiality. Thank you guys all again so much for your support. Until next time, my friends. See ya.